Greetings, my friends. This is Maerlande. I'm returning to you with some more Tactical Briefing 3, starting with turn number 47. I'm going to go through turn number 47 pretty quickly. It's just a few topics and a couple of important notes. You'll see here, I finished some enchantment research. What I was targeting was Gift of Health, but I actually upgraded this version of Dominions to 4.14. So Gift of Health shows here at level 7. I apologize that that's a little bit confusing, but I'm sure we can make it work and it will still have the video show up correctly. I've done a little bit extra site searching, summoned up some additional Ocelotls, Jaguar Fiends, and my blood slave economy is somewhere in the range of about 200 slaves per turn, fairly stable. Most importantly, I have begun to attack Helheim. So you can take a look up here, you can see I've sent a significant large offensive army onto Helheim. It's a fairly simple set of scripting, some use of formations, a little bit of layout. And I'm not actually going to watch the fight because it's just a fight against a very small amount of province defense. We can use the handy C key when we're on a province to take a look at the battles that occurred there. He fought with a Van Jarl thug. I'm doing fine as I'm doing. So, one other note is I'm still blood hunting with Migraine Monday in my capital. And I've talked about that, how it's not really an optimal choice. And starting this turn, I've started casting Rain of Toads. 1-2 Rain of Toads from this fort, and I believe 2 more from the Vanheim capital. Just taking a quick look. Anyways, we can see on the message list, we can just pop it up here, that it was a total of, no, we don't see them yet because they'll show up next turn. And I'm also doing some scrying of his forts. So I'm quickly going to move on to turn 48, since, as I said, there's not a tremendous amount to look at here in turn 47. In turn number 48, I have the fight, and I attack, and I'm still going on my enchantment research. Now you'll see I kept going. I have Gift of Health already, but I kept going for relief. Very, very useful spell. Takes away some fatigue from every troop on the battle on your side each round. Potentially not all of them each round, and the amount varies, but it's still very useful. You can see I've put up some scrying pools and 4 casts of Rain of Toads. The effect of those Rain of Toads may be relatively small in this first round of action, but we'll go take a look at those provinces. Helheim's capital, and Borale, and I believe I was also hitting Klon. So you can see, with the scrying, I can now look at the unrest. It's up a bit, up to 29 each. So basically, that's a single cast. The battle here, using the handy C key, I lost more or less nothing. You'll notice there's a few blood slaves actually as troops showing up, not carried on their commanders. That happens. It's kind of a frustrating thing. You can also see I've got significant numbers of slaves loaded on my Magi, and I've got scouts carrying extra gems and extra slaves. And let's take a quick look at the army setup. So important spells, Divine Blessing, Phoenix Power to give my High Priest some ability to cast some offensive spells. Didn't even script this priest, but basically he's going to toss out little Holy Magic or Blood One spells, which is more or less only summon imps. A few wooden warriors, tossing some of those onto right here. You can see this fellow, he's set up in this corner over by the Sacred Jaguars, which can use that bit of additional protection from wooden warriors. And down farther, I brought along an Astral Priest with the Starshine Skullcap so that he can cast anti-magic. Very, very useful to minimize friendly fire for me, for my Magi, when they hit my own blessed troops, which they are going to do a bit. And I'm moving on to attack Black Peaks. So 48 again is fairly simple. A little bit of moving around, doing some patrolling, preparing for some blood hunting. Not Inicia, but I believe I'm trying to get patrollers over here to Sinextro. And this army's moving on, and I'm still reinforcing armies. I believe if we take a look here at Winden, bringing up some more slaves. There are some other armies down here. so I can attack him from another direction, keep him off balance. Very similar setup. You can see I brought along an anti-magic caster, and the High Priest of the Sun, slaves and gems stockpiled on a scout sneaking underneath. And I think that kind of covers the basics. We'll move on to turn number 49. Takes a moment here. Alright, you uncooperative thing. Load turn number 49 and see a little bit more action. Alright, enchantment is complete. Now I'm moving on to bring up blood magic. It's pretty obvious if you're playing a high blood nation, there's a lot of things you want in blood magic. I do definitely want my Michelin Special National Only summons, and I want to try to get the unique summons available in blood magic. I have Blood and Fire Magi, so the Archdevils, and I also have Blood and Water, so I can go for the Ice Devils if I want. Lots of fun stuff. Got some battles, some unexpected events, and again more scrying pools, making sure I can watch all his forts, and I'm continuing with the rain of toads everywhere. Amphibians falling from the sky, very exciting. Let's see what I've done to him with those. Unrest of 88 in Barale. Almost shut down his fort. At 100 you can no longer recruit. Unrest of 122 in Helheim. So I've shut down his capital. He won't be able to recruit any more capital only magi or capital only troops. And Klon just started, unrest of 13. Nephil I'm scrying, but I'm not bombarding it because I'm moving on top of it. I've taken Black Peaks. That fight, lost a couple tribal kings, and I think I can tell you why. This will be worth taking a look at. Made a bit of a mistake here. I decided to equip some of my commanders that don't have magic with bows of war. Let's zoom in and find those two fellows. Is that him there? Yes, I gave him a bow of war. So if we want to watch this, I'll watch a bit of it. You can take a look. So there's the Bless. I now have Blood Vengeance on all of my Sacreds. You'll note here that I've taken advantage in the army setup key of the L key or the W key, in this case I believe the W key, sticking my afflicted Jaguar warriors up in the front to soak damage. And the Bow of War action should occur fairly soon. It might be a little tricky to see. You can hit the 3 key and watch some of the details. There we go, the throwing the flames. And I'm just waiting to watch and see if we can spot when the Bows of War come into play. Watch for arrows flying out. There they go, but they're not hitting any of my troops yet, so I have to move forward a turn or two. Just going to take a quick jump to the next turn by pushing the N key. Okay, now I think we're going to see the problem. Bow of Wars hit some of my own Jaguars, and that's what did it. That's what killed these fellows here. He's still alive, but he's going to die pretty soon. And that's what got them. So a mistake on my part. Alright. Going to move on here. Take a look at some other stuff. The battle down in the south. This army, highly successful. No losses, fighting a little bit of province defense. And they're going to continue to move on. Grab territory. Toss up some small amounts of province defense. Looks like I hadn't bought it there. Hopefully I'll buy it in the next turn. Oh, and I got hit with some barbarians. So imagine what I'm doing here. Yeah, I'm taking a small force to go take back from those barbarians and get that throne back. And notice I'm sending along a Holy 3 Mage, High Priest of the Sun, in order to be able to claim it. It's very nice in throne games to have Holy 3 Magi, or Holy 3 Priests. It's not always an option, but it sure does make a difference. Otherwise you're trying to move your Pretender around or your Prophet around to get them. Well, my friends, I think that's sufficient for today. Thank you very much for watching again, and I hope you enjoyed that I'm back in production.